I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. Today we'll be learning how to play From the Start by... I really just don't want to say it wrong.
Laufey. That's the more English one.
I think I'll just say Laufey for the video because I think that's like the English pronunciation, so we'll go with that. But today we'll be learning how to play From the Start by Laufey on the ukulele. Now, I've been a fan of Laufey for a while now. I have been pronouncing her name Laufey. I've become very used to that, and only recently did I find out that that is not actually how you pronounce it. But this is one of her more recent songs, which has become pretty popular recently, with over 90 million streams on Spotify alone. And like I say, I love Laufey's music, but the chords often aren't very easy. But for this song, I found a tab with some pretty nice chords. The version that I'll be teaching you today also does have a capo on the first fret, right there. If you don't have a capo, it can be played without, it'll sound a little bit different, but I definitely recommend getting a capo. They're really useful for many songs. So make sure you have the capo on the first fret and that the ukulele is tuned before we begin. Okay, first let's run through the chords. Remember the capo on the first fret, and the chords are D minor, G7, C Maj 7, E minor 7, A7, and C. Okay, so now let's get into the strumming pattern. The strumming pattern for this song is beautiful because it doesn't change too much. We'll add a bit of flair here and there, but other than that, it stays the same. It's also important to note that you don't have to follow the strumming pattern that I'll be teaching you. You can do your own thing if you want. But if you are looking for a bit of guidance on the strumming pattern, I'll be teaching you the strumming pattern that I use. The main strumming pattern that we'll be using throughout the song is down, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, let's try that on the introduction. D minor, G7, and then on this C Maj 7 we want to go down, down, up, down, up, mute. So again with that introduction, D minor, G7, C Maj 7, mute. And then let's go straight into the first verse. This all has the same strumming pattern, that down, down, up, down, up. The chords are D minor, G7, C Maj 7, and that strumming pattern repeats twice. D minor, G7, C Maj 7, repeating twice again. D minor, G7, E minor 7, A7, D minor, do that twice, G7. So with the words, that'll go like this. Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you in awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. And then we go on to the second verse, which is exactly the same as the first verse, just different words. Let's play through it without the words again. I'll say the chords and then I'll sing the words. So the chords are D minor, G7, C maj 7, twice, D minor, G7, C maj 7, twice, D minor, G7, E minor 7, A7, D minor, twice, G7. Now I'm going to sing through the second verse with the words. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah blah blah. Oh, how I wish you'll wake up one day, run to me, confess your love, at least just let me say. Then we have the chorus, which is again the same chords, but it's slightly different at the end, so let's just run through that first. D minor, G7, C maj 7, twice, D minor, G7, C maj 7, twice, D minor, G7, E minor 7, A7, D minor, G7, and C maj 7. So the chorus is just a little bit different because the D minor and the G7 at the end is only played once rather than being repeated. So let's go through the chorus all together with the words. That when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart, and I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. And then after this chorus, that's when we go into the instrumental. And then this is when Laufey does a bit of like, it's a bit like ad-lib almost, like, I think it's called like scatting, where basically it's in a lot of jazz music especially, where you're going like ba-da-da-da and stuff like that instead. And that appears a lot in Laufey's music. So this part follows that chorus using the same chords again, and will go something like this. I feel like for this part, it doesn't matter if you get it exactly right. None of it matters if you get it exactly right, make it your own. But for this part, because it is ad-lib, it's more like you're improvising. So do whatever feels right for you. So the instrumental part will go like this. Confess I loved you from the start. Ba-da-da-da. Something along those lines. Then after that we go on to the third verse, which is exactly the same as the other ones. So now that we know the chords and the string pattern, let's just go through it straight away with the words. What's a girl to do, lying on my bed staring into the blue? Unrequited, terrifying love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest, I'm telling you today. And that's the third verse. And of course after that we go into the chorus, which again we already know. This is such a great song, such a good string pattern and chords, I love it. So let's go through this chorus, but then the outro kind of changes a bit. So this is the chorus again with the words. That when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. And then after that we have the outro, which is similar to part of the chorus. Let's go through the chords first. D minor, G7, E minor 7, A7, just one downward strum, D minor, G7, and a C. So for the last note, you could either do a singular downward strum on the C, or you could go back to more of a down, down, up, down, up, down. So let's just go through the outro with the words. Confess I loved you, just thinking of you. I know I loved you from the start. And that's the string pattern for the whole of the song. Like I mentioned earlier, the string pattern is pretty consistent, so this song is probably good if you're looking to practice that string pattern. But that being said, if you are a beginner and you do find that a bit difficult, try just doing one downward strum for each of the chords. Ultimately, just do what works best for you. There's no pressure to do the full string pattern if you're not quite ready. But now that we've got the string pattern, let's try going through a slow playthrough of the chorus only. You can try playing along with me using the chords on the screen. You can try doing the full string pattern with me, the down, down, up, down, up. Or if that's a bit too difficult at the moment, just try doing that one downward strum for each of the chords. That when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. Wonderful. Now if you need to practice going through slowly a bit more, you can pause the video here, go back and watch that section again. But if not, let's move on to playing through the whole song. Now before we move on to playing through the whole song, I just want to mention that I have a Patreon. So if you do enjoy my tutorial videos and you find them helpful, please do consider checking that out. With a monthly subscription, you can gain early access to tutorials as well as other benefits which you can see using the link in the description. I also have a buy me a coffee page for any one-off donations. So if you're interested, please check them out and thank you for supporting what I love to do. I'm now going to play through the full song at the normal speed, so if you're ready to do so, you can play along with me using the chords on screen. Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you in awkward silence, don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah blah blah. Oh, how I wish you'll wake up one day, run to me, confess your love. At least just let me say that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start.
head staring into the blue. Unrequited, terrifying love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest. I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. Confess I loved you, just thinking of you. I know I loved you from the start.
Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial of From the Start by Laufey. Don't worry if you haven't quite got it yet. If you need to go back and watch parts of the video again, that is absolutely fine. But before I end the video here, I wanted to share an exciting announcement. Now, as well as creating these tutorial videos, I do make my own music as well. And a year ago, I started working on a song inspired by AI images shared by another creator on TikTok called Green Skull. And I'll insert a clip of that here.
Someone made an original song based on one of my AI images. That one. So let's ask an AI image generator to show us. Take it away, Katie.
I got you.
The sun sets in the distance. We crowd around, losing our existence. But it's nice to see this pretty sight, 'cause usually it's not so bright now. The sky is filled with luminescent green. Hope will come and take us home. We've ruined here, it's safer for us to go. Fish me out of the city, up through the roof. Fog is growing thicker, I'm not immune. And I wait for the day that we lose to this place with ourselves to blame. 'Cause one day we'll be floating in space.
Anyways, then I went off to university and didn't get a chance to work on the song until I came back this summer. And now, a year since the song was started, I'm really happy to announce that the song will be available on all streaming platforms as of the 30th of September. I know. I know. No, but seriously, I'm really excited for this song to come out. It will be my first song that will be available on all streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. There's a pre-order on iTunes right now, and I can send a link in the description for the Spotify pre-save. So if that all sounds good to you, you can pre-save the song on Spotify or you can pre-order it on iTunes. There'll be a pre-save link in the description. I know I keep saying it, but I'm really excited. And I hope you are too. Anyways, thank you for watching this video, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Have I been saying Laufey? Oh no. If I've said Laufey at all, I meant Laufey. I messed up from the start. How funny.